Good morning, Terp Nation. Good morning, Terp Nation. I'm about to give you guys the full recap of our 2019 National Signing Day. Pretty much our whole recruiting class. I'm about to give you guys the full recap of the guys that I think I like, the guys who I believe are sleepers, guys who I think gonna make immediate impact, and guys who I believe that down the road we're gonna see a lot of production out of them. Maybe not right immediately because they need to get in the weight room and get a little bit bigger, get a little bit stronger. Because Big Ten football is no joke. I'm telling you guys, there's a reason why Maryland has been winning, man. Even though we have talent, even though these guys getting drafted, because it's no joke. You got to have a lot of good players in the Big Ten for you to have a good team. And this class really helps us with what we already have in our roster in terms of guys returning. And that was really the biggest thing. I got to really make sure I let you tell Nation know this. The biggest recruiting that this staff did and Loxley did was really to recruit our current rosters to keep everybody in-house. Because most of the time what happened, especially what happened to us this year with all the distraction and rest in peace Jordan McNair death and everything that comes with it, a lot of times when new coaches get hired, that roster lose about 10, 15 people. It happens every year. Even some of the best schools in the country, it happens. It just turnover with new regime. However, with this staff, what Lux really did that first 2 months when he wasn't really out there trying to recruit, he wasn't out there looking for a staff. He was really just out there recruiting his kids, the current players he had. This guy knew. That's one thing Loxley, say what you want about DJ Durkin, but the guy did a great job. Him and his staff did a great job of really pretty much showering this whole school, showering Maryland roster with a bunch of good D1 talent. Before that, there were many guys. I would say about 80% of Maryland roster really was not D1 worthy. There was guys that would belong at maybe like a smaller school. You know what I'm saying? Like a Towson. They don't belong at Maryland, but those are the guys we was getting before. Great young man. We don't have time for that no more, man. We need great young men off the field and monsters on the field. You know what I'm saying? So and that's what Durkin started doing for us. And I feel like um, Mike Locksley came in and he realized that. He saw what we did against Ohio State. He saw what we did against some of the better schools in the Big Ten. We were right in there. We was right there against Michigan State, a team that won almost 10 ball games. We was right there against Penn State until second half. When we just, I think guys just quit because we realized we weren't doing anything. I see, even if we win, it doesn't matter. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is there was already a lot of talent on this roster. A lot. Like guys that could win right now. If Maryland didn't get a soul in this recruiting class, we could have still won 8 ball games, 6, 7 ball games this year. That's how much talent there's already in the roster. That Locke somehow managed to keep in. We didn't lose anybody. We didn't lose anybody, bro. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I've never seen it. I've never seen what we went through in terms of distractions, and then to get a new coach with no member of the previous staff coming back. Zero member. Locks didn't bring anybody back. I like most of our older staff. I like BD. I like Azar. I like all those guys. But Locks didn't bring none of them back, and none of these kids left. And that to me is a great job by this man. I don't know what he did, but it's a great job selling whatever his vision was to these kids and to their parents, because it's hard to convince the parents and the kids after the season we had. So shout out to Locks. So really, this class was just really a bonus. It was like a shot in the arm for already a great recruiting effort by the staff to keep the current roster intact. So now, but with this class, 17, 18 individuals with the kicker from New York, um, really this class is a game changer. This is the class that, quite frankly, every year you got to have at least a couple of stars. And I feel like this class, I can handpick at least 7 out of the 18 kids who I believe are going to be stars. I'm talking about guys who are going to get drafted in the NFL when their time is up for Maryland. Like 7 to 8 out of the 18. That's a good ratio. Usually you want to get about half of your kids you sign to where you can see them be in the pros. Now, there are guys who are always going to surprise you. And in this class, I'm going to name a couple of guys who are right now, I don't see them probably be making a major impact in College Park, but I've seen their film. Watched them play live. They have dog in them. They have competitive in them. And if they play with that same edge in College Park, they're gonna be somebody. So you can never really point a finger at a guy and be like, yeah, this guy gonna be that, and that guy gonna be that. Because kids, motivations are different. Some guys are motivated up to this point, and then when they go to college, they're not as motivated. And there are guys who literally they might have found the motivation in high school, but then they came to college, they just became monsters, man. They get motivated, success Once they taste a little bit of success, it just motivates them to eat more. And those kind of guys are usually the guys who become stars in college, who get a little bit of success and say, "I'm gonna keep eating. I like this feeling. I want to keep having this feeling." So, but let me not get too far ahead. I already speak for 5 minutes without even getting to this point, but I really, really wanted to just hit on those key points that this class is really just a bonus for what we already had. Like we already have a team, a current roster that can win us 7, 8 ball games. And now with this class, you sprinkle a couple of these kids in what we have. You never know, man. Never know. This kid could be surprised. Now, first of all, let me go back and review everybody we already signed so far. And I don't want to like go from like top recruit to low recruit. I'm just gonna keep naming guys because I have like notes everywhere here on my laptop on my table here. But let me start with Mason Longsford. He's a good council kid right up the street, Only Maryland. He's 6'5", 305. His composition rating at 25 Sport. Now that's the only site I go off when it comes to recruiting. I don't do ESPN. I don't do none of those other sites because I feel like they're all bullshit. None of those other sites really have guys who are actually out there every day looking at film, out there every day pursuing this kid, trying to see what this kid is. If like, these kids are getting better. Most of these ESPN guys is the same way where they had it. Like when once those rankings come out, they don't change. They stay the same throughout because their people don't get out there and do the grass work and really trying to get to know these kids, get to see which one of these kids get better. Because kids get better during the season, and their rankings should be adjusted accordingly. But ESPN don't do that. They're one of the worst ones to doing that. Same thing with Rival. Rival sometimes don't do that. They get lazy. But 250 and 247 Sport is this is the only site I go to in terms of checking out recruiting rankings because they're the ones that really have the guys that are really out there. I see these guys in college park. I've seen these guys at combines. I've seen these guys at camps. So they be out there. Now, with that being said, Mason is a 6'5" kid, 305. And first of all, I think he's put on like 10 pounds since the last time I saw him when he came in campus. Because when I saw him, he looked like a kid that was under 300 pounds. So it goes to tell me from that time to now, this kid is went and added another 10 pounds in his meat. And that, with our weight room, I can see it being another 10 pounds in his meat. So he could end up being 6'5", 315. And Mason is one of those kids where I don't see him starting immediately. I think he's headed for a red shirt because I think he needs it. Like he needs a lot of the quickness error on his feet. He's strong enough. He's big enough. He's smart enough. He has the fight in him to play Big Ten football. But I still think he needs a little bit more seasoning in terms of technique and all the other stuff. All right. Now, like I said, he was ranked .8376. Pretty much just like he was not ranked. When you're that low, anything below like 84, your chances are at like .84 in that ranking in 25 Sport in 247, the chances are you're not going to be ranked. So he's really not a ranked national player in terms of overall country. He wasn't ranked nationally, but he's the 123rd player in this position. 122nd kid, the 122nd ranked offensive tackle in the country. Usually, when it comes to like offensive lineman or defensive lineman position, you want to get guys in the top 150. If you can get somebody in the top 150, those are good players in D1. Those are good players you want to aim for. Offensive lineman, defensive lineman, you want to go for guys in the top 50. DBs and safeties, you want to go for the guys in the top 150 for offensive lineman and D lineman. Because there's a lot of guys sometimes who are not ranked highly, who are just beasts, but you won't know about, especially offensive linemen. There are guys who are 1-stars who became NFL players. Iowa get them all the time. Wisconsin get those guys all the time. So what I'm trying to tell you is rank is in all that. When it comes to offensive linemen and defensive linemen, it's hard to rank those guys. It's very, very hard. So there are guys who might be a 2-star, but really, when you get them on campus, you be like, this guy plays like a 4-star. Why didn't those other recruiting services notice that? Because it's hard to notice offensive linemen and D linemen. It's hard to rank those guys. So, but I really believe this guy Mason is a D1 player. And when I watched him play, he was the second best offensive lineman on film I watched at Go Cancel this all throughout this season. Now, of course, the number one guy is Logan, who's going to be the best offensive tackle in next year's class. The guy's a beast. Yeah, this kid is a 26th ranked player in the state of Maryland. Like I said, in a state like Maryland, which talent, I would say 5 years ago, you don't want to get a kid out of Maryland that's outside the top 40. Now, because the state is so much more loaded and there's so many hidden gems out here, anybody in the top 100 in the state of Maryland is a good freaking player. Good player. Good player. Anybody in the top 100 nowadays, you get a player top within the top 100 instead of Maryland is a good damn player. In Virginia, you get a guy within the top 150. It's a good damn play. In Florida, you get a guy within the top 300. Is a good damn play. So depending on what state, some states you just gonna find a lot more dogs in areas that probably are not hotbeds. Maryland is one of those areas, but because Maryland is not really that well known in other parts of the state, so I'm just gonna say, like, if you get somebody within the top 100 in the state, you got a pretty good damn player. Right? Florida is 300 because everybody you get within the top 300 in that state, you're gonna get a stud. Ohio, I would say about 200, and Georgia, I would say 250. So that's how I rank this state, depending on how good and deep you can find talent in there. All right. So Mason is the 26th ranked player in the state, which is a pretty good player in the state of Maryland. Again, he's in the top 100. So offensive tackle, and is really like offensive tackle is a major position of need for us, especially when we have both bookends tackles leaving, and I think both of them will get drafted in Damian Prince and Dorian Gray. Now, when you have two senior guys who play for 4 years leave, that's a major hole. It's not just a hole. It's not just a position you have to fill. It's not just a need. It's a major, major hole. So we really got to find guys. Now, I feel like we already got guys on the roster, but some of these kids here, like there's one guy I really like, offensive lineman coming that I really like in this class, and I'm gonna get to him later. But I really, really love this kid. But this kid right here is one of them, Mason Longford, and another guy I love is Isaiah Hazel. Now, in my previous earlier preview, I kept saying Hazel. I've been saying this kid's Isaiah Hazel for as long as I've known this kid, but it's wrong. It's Isaiah Hazel. All right, it's Hazel. So it's Hazel. Isaiah Hazel. This kid is a 6'1". I would say about 6'1 and a half, 190 pounds. And quite frankly, he can put on a good 15 pounds and be absolutely nothing, meaning that it wouldn't affect his speed, won't affect his game at all. He would just enhance him, because this kid, to me, is a DJ Moore. He's built like a DJ Moore. When you watch his game, the only thing he does better than DJ Moore is go up and catch the ball. There's plenty of times when we throw the ball down the field, DJ Moore just couldn't go up and get it because he wasn't really that big of a dude. You know what I'm saying? He was big in terms of like trying to bring him down, but when you in terms of going up and getting the ball, it's a 50-50 chance most of the time between him and the corner. With this guy, you throw it up, it's an 80-20% chance. 80% chance he gets it, 20% chance the ball go incomplete. That's the kind of player he is. He goes up and make catches. He just go get the ball. And that's what we need, and that's what we haven't had in a while. A guy who's just a ball getter. You throw it up, I'm going to go get it, all right? That's what it is. Now, we got a couple of those guys in our current roster right now that I'm really, really excited about that show a lot of glimpses in the last year. But this guy's going to add to our receiver room in terms of guys who are just, you can throw a 5-yard each route and he'll take it to the house, because why? Good luck bringing him down as a DB one-on-one in the open field. That's what it is. He's one of those guys who can throw 2 yard on 3rd and 2, throw 1 yard, and he'll make guys miss, get 10 yards for a first down. That's what he is. That's what he's built for. He's strong, he's quick, he's fast, and his best qualities are his hands. He catches everything. All right, this kid goes up and make catches. That's what he is. All right, Isaiah Hazel, 6'1", about 6'1 and a half, 190 pounds. All right, he's the 224th ranked player in the country. So quite frankly, technically, based on the 247 sport rankings, he's our best recruit. He's our best recruit. And when you watch this kid, everything, the way he's built, you watch him move when he plays, you can see why he's our best recruit. Quite frankly, he's a really, really good player. A really, really good player that usually before locks, that probably before Duncan, you would see guys like this go to freaking the Virginia Techs out of Maryland, or the Penn States, or what's the other school that a guy like him, West Virginia. That's what West Virginia always get receivers like this from Maryland. So it's good to see this kid stay home, and because I think this kid is a legit star. He's from Dr. Andrew A. Wise High School in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. One of the best public schools, not just in PG County. Now, I went to Law High School in PG, so I used to play them niggas. All right, them boys are good. All right, then for as long as I can remember, Wise, they've always been good since that school was built. When the minute it was built, early 2000s, everybody in PG County knew, we're in trouble, because that area in Upper Marlboro has a lot of talent, has a ridiculous amount of talent. All right, so now this kid right here is one of the few ones that came out of there who, quite frankly, choose Maryland. Many of the guys from Wise don't choose Maryland, so I'm really happy. Hopefully, he becomes one of the guys who start that pipeline between Wise and Maryland, because we need that school. We need that school. Too many good players come out of there and go to Florida State and other places. All right. So, but he's a receiver, and his overall rating His cumulative rating was 91.34, which is a high for a 4-star kid. Very high 4-star. When anything over 90, you're a high 4-star, right? So, yeah, he's the highest recruit, Isaiah Hazel. Another kid I really like, another commit is Owen Bird. Owen Bird is a commit from what is it? McEachern, Powder Springs, Florida. All right, McEachern's high school. He's a 6 foot. Now, this kid, when I watch his film, he looks bigger than his measurements. On paper, they say he's 6 foot, 175 pounds. But when you watch him on film, he looks like a 6'2" corner. He looks like a 6'2" corner and running around about 190 pounds. All right, because he brings his pads with him when he plays. And that is one of those things coaches look for when they evaluating DBs. Those they bring their pads, or he's just a guy who just throws shoulder out there, the chicken wing out there. Those guys are going to get hurt in D1. You got to bring your pads, you got to bring your shoulder, bring your feet. Everything got to come when you bring in a tackle. So Owen Bad is a kid that I really like. He's from Georgia. We went and got 2 kids from Georgia. He was him and the other kid, Teron Collins, another DB. That kid is like 6'2". He's a safety prospect. He's a 6'1", 6'2" safety prospect, about 180 pounds. Teron Collins from Langston Hughes. We had a kid from Langston Hughes just 2 years ago, a wide receiver from Langston Hughes. His name is not, it's not coming up in my mind right now, but he's still on the roster. And a kid that I think is it Sean Davis? I forgot his name, but his name is Sean. He's a receiver kid that he's on roster right now in Maryland, and who I think is going to be a good player by the time his time is up at Maryland, by the way. So maybe that's like a pipeline we're starting right now between us and Langston Hughes in Georgia. But that's a very good school to start a pipeline. Any school in Florida, any school in Georgia, if you're gonna start a pipeline, any other schools in those areas, it's a good idea. All right, it's never a bad idea to start a pipeline in any school in Georgia or Florida. All right, and Maryland's doing pretty good the last few classes in those areas. But yeah, Alvin Bird, 6 foot, 175 pounds. He has a cumulative rating of .8281, which is really not bad, which is also not that good either. But then again, he's from Georgia, but he's not a ranked player. He's not ranked nationally. And like I said, I'm not worrying about that. If this says 3-star, you're from Georgia, you're a pretty good damn player. All right. So he's the 170th ranked position player. He's the 178th ranked cornerback in the country. 170 ranked corner in the country, which is not bad because corners literally most people sign about 5 corners or 3-4 corners a class. Most schools. So if you can get a kid when all the schools are getting that many corners, I would say any corner ranked within the first maybe 250 is a damn good corner. Cornerbacks 250, receivers anything within the 250 rankings in the entire country in their position ranking is a damn good player. This kid is ranked 170th in his position in terms of like cornerbacks in the entire country, which is not bad. Again, it's under the 250 and he's ranked 170th. So that's pretty good. That's a good corner, especially in the state of Georgia where he's ranked 176th in the state. AKA, if you anywhere around 250 in Georgia, you're a damn good player because there's a lot of kids, there's a lot of talent in that area in Georgia. So we went and got that kid, and Dino Tomlin's another kid we went and got from Shady Side Academy in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's Mike Tomlin's son. He's very fast. That's one thing I know about Dino Tomlin. This kid is fast. To me, he's the fastest commit. And if there's one faster than him, I would love to see it doing fall ball or spring ball because this kid can go. Dino Tomlin can go. He is not ranked in the country. He's not rated at all in the country, which it's predictable because the area in playing Pennsylvania is not a recruiting hotbed. Period. In Philly, in Pittsburgh. So, but he's ranked 131st in wide receiver in the country. He's the 131st ranked wide out in the country. Again, anything below 250 in wide receiver or corner, you're a damn good player. This kid is a damn good player because he's even under 150. He's a damn good player. Mind you, he's the fastest kid. So kids like him don't need a lot to win in college because most kids, speed kills. Most areas you go, if you're fast, you're going to play. That's what it is. But this kid still needs to get stronger, though. He's the 23rd ranked player in the state. Like I said, Pennsylvania is not really that much talented anymore. But anything in that state, in the top 50, you're a damn good player. You know what I'm saying? It's that because the state has fallen back. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, Pennsylvania was a lot more deeper state in terms of recruiting. Most of those kids don't play football anymore. They're trying to play lacrosse. They're playing other sports. So Dino Tomlin is the 23rd ranked player in that state. damn good player. Because anything in the top 50 in Pennsylvania currently is a damn good player. In Maryland, top 100. In Georgia, top 250. In Florida, is 300. So just keep in mind when I'm going through these rankings, when I'm giving you the state rankings and the national rankings, to know that it's what. Keep in mind the state and where they rank, and it will tell you what kind of out. It tells you everything you need to know about how good of a player they are. All right. Now, Dylan Tallman, you got Cameron Blount. Cam Blount is a kid that I really, really love. I love this kid. I've gotten to know his mom throughout the process. What Nikki Blount is a wonderful woman. She's all for her kids. It's him and his younger brother Cornell. And Cornell, Merlin, I know Cornell love Merlin too, but Cornell you're gonna have to get a lot of muscles in that meat, because that's why we dropped Tank Land, because they didn't think he was big enough. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not tall, you better be some gut on you, bro, for you to want to come here at Big Ten football, because it's no joke. There's a lot of times you might love a kid, personally you love him and want to see him play, but you know you can't take him because you literally just taking a dead weight if it's not going to help you. So I can see why Mike Lossley drop off Tank Land, and the kid was smart enough to go to Liberty, because in Liberty he's going to prosper, but in College Park and Big Ten football he wasn't. All right, he would have been just a wasted scholarly. So, and there was no point of that. So again, Cameron Blount, kid from St. Charles, he's 6'2", 216 pounds. He's a linebacker. By the way, from the time the season ended, because he took his team to the playoffs and took them far, playing quarterback and defense. This kid is just a competitor. I love this kid. It's a competitor. Cameron Brown is a competitor, bro. It's a competitor. It's the kind of kid he gonna go to College Park. If you guys don't take him serious, he's gonna take somebody's spot immediately. The kid is a competitor. So like I said, but when the season ended, he was about maybe 200 pounds. So this kid is literally put on 16 pounds, which I'm sure is Maryland doing. I'm sure that's Maryland telling him, kid, you ain't big enough. You're gonna have to get bigger if you want to play linebacker at Maryland. You're just gonna have to. We love you. We love you personally. We think you're a great kid. You're a local kid. We want to take you, but you gotta get bigger. And for him to put on 16 pounds from the time the season ended to now, that showed the staff everything they need to know about this kid. So I'm glad they took him. Because if I was a coach, I would have taken a kid. If I tell him go get bigger and they come back a few months later, they're 60 pounds heavier. Because that's not as easy as you think for this high school kids to do. And for him to do that, that goes to tell you how much this kid really, really wanted to be at Maryland. This kid really, really loved Maryland, and I'm glad the staff took him. It's one of those feel-good stories you hear about every recruiting class. You're like, man, I'm so glad they took that kid, because that kid really wanted in. And Cam was one of those kids. He was ranked 20th in the state. He's the 20th ranked player in the state. Again, anything in the top 100 in Maryland right now is damn pretty good. Next year, it's going to go even higher. Next year, anybody in the top 150 in Maryland is damn good, because next year's class is freaking ridiculous loaded. 2020, ooh, beautiful. Maryland just got to do their work. But, yeah, St. Charles, 6'2", 216. His cumulative ranking at 247 sport was .8493, which really equates to about a pretty good three-star kid. A pretty good three-star. Anything amongst the 83, you're a pretty good three-star kid. All right, anything above 80, it's pretty good. But around 85, you're pretty, they think you're better than average three-star. So, again, I love this kid. Forget his ranking. He's not ranked in the country, but he's the 81st. He's the 81st ranked player at his position, which is outside linebacker. You know what I'm saying? And 20th in the state. Again, within 100, he's a damn good player. And another kid I really like is, now this kid may be my favorite recruit, but I'm gonna give you guys more about this one. Is Deontay Banks, the Edgewood corner from Edgewood, Maryland, Edgewood High School. This kid, I love this kid. Deontay Banks is a 6'1" kid, 190 pounds. He's ranked 184th in the entire country. 184th player in the entire country, which basically, if you look at our rankings, which pretty much equals to our third or fourth best recruit. And quite frankly, I remember when this kid committed, he was not even ranked. I was one of the first people that watched that. That went and watched him and be like, yo, if this kid was Alabama or Jamaica, he's a 5-star. I'm not playing. I was one of the first guys that went and see him. Like, if this kid was at DeMatha or St. John's, he's a freaking 5-star recruit. The kid is elite. I'm telling y'all, man. When you see Deontay Banks in College Park, you're gonna love this kid, man. This kid, I love this kid. This kid is gonna get drafted. This kid will be a first-round pick, man. He will be a first-round pick. He's the diamond in this freaking class. He's the gold. He's the steel. Like, I don't care. I don't know how else to say this to get you guys excited about this kid. But this kid, Deontay Banks, mark his name. Save his name. You're going to hear his name a lot. It might even be as early as next year. This kid is like that. He's compete. He's strong. He's built. He's fast. He's tall. He got ball skills. He can hit you. He play both ways. The kid just compete. I love everything about this kid. This kid, I swear to God, if he was at St. John's, good chance he would have been a 5-star, high 4-star. But because he went to Edgewood, which is a public school in Maryland, he's a nobody. Nobody really know about him until late when everybody's just started sucking. Because now I feel like everybody started hopping on this kid after what Loxley said when Loxley called him that if he was at Bama, he would have offered this kid. That's how good Loxley thought he was. But Loxley said he didn't know about him until he came to Maryland. He said, I didn't know about him at Bama, he would have been recruiting for Bama. That goes to tell you everything you need to know about this kid. He's the only kid Loxley talked about like that in our class. Which is like, if I knew about this kid at Bama, I think I might have stolen from Maryland. That goes to tell you everything I need to know. This kid is like that. People didn't know about him, and we went and got him. I love it. I love it, man. This kid is ranked 77th in this position. I don't care about that. You can't tell me that a 77th player is better than this kid at cornerback. There's no way. In the country, there's no freaking way. All right? And he's 13th ranked in the state. Again, there's not 12 players better than this kid in the state of Maryland. There's no freaking way. He will prove it. I love this kid. This kid will prove it, man. 864th ranked player. I don't buy it. In the country, I don't buy it. I think he's way better than that. He's a cornerback. Again, he's my big ass sleeper. Now, I was going to have a sleeper board later on, but I'm going to just ruin that right now. He's the biggest sleeper, man. Maryland got the biggest sleeper. This biggest sleeper in this class, entire class, forget about it, is Deonte Banks. This kid is a major kid. It's like we got a 5-star with a 3-star rating. That's basically what we just did. We stole a 5-star with a 3-star rating. People going to find out about this kid in College Park. Yo, watch. Another kid we got is Anthony Booker Jr., a kid from Cleveland, Ohio, Winston Woods High School. This kid, 6'5", 280. This kid is going to be a future leader in the locker, a defensive room leader. I said it in my earlier preview. In my earlier summary of the class. But this right here, this kid is going to be our future defensive room leader. It's like he has all the leadership qualities. Everybody, because later when kids come in, I go to videos, I watch everything, what people say about him. Everything I heard about this kid is just a bunch of great stuff off the field. And then on the field, he just go get it. And I really believe this kid is one of those kids that's going to come to Maryland and trying to put shit in Ohio State Buckeyes face for not recruiting him. The Buckeyes never went after the kid. So I'm sure he felt some type of way about that. But I'm so glad we got him. This kid is 6'5", 280. He's the 869th ranked player in the country and the 68th player at his position. He's the 40th player in the state. Again, Ohio, it's like Maryland. Anybody in the top 100 is a damn good player. And he's ranked 60th. And no, he's ranked 40th in the state. Damn good player in a state like Ohio. Damn good player. And 60th player in the position, which is strong side defensive end. Now, this kid is not going to play defensive end. I can tell you that right now. This kid is going to be our D tackle. He's going to play our D tackle because with his quickness, and as big as he is in his quickness, that's a strength for us. That we can use that as a strength. You can put him in the middle and literally you make him use his quickness and strength against Big Ten offensive, Big Ten tight ends and offensive guard. Big Ten centers and offensive guards. And I think he's gonna eat. This kid is gonna eat. He's one of my guys I have as immediate impact studs. I think he's gonna play immediately because 6'5", 280, you're ready. And if you watch him, the kid is strong. He's built from bottom to up. He's just girth. He's all strength, man. You can just tell this kid used to probably pick up woods. Like I love this kid. He's just a typical Ohio, Cleveland kid who just has that. He just plays with the edge and chip that few prospects around the country plays with. Most recruits out of that area, they just play with the chip and the shoe that very few kids play with. And this kid is gonna be a star in Maryland. 6'5", 280. Cincinnati really wanted this kid. This kid grew up like a few blocks from Cincinnati, the school Cincinnati, and they really wanted him. They really wanted this kid, and we went and got him. Like gangsters. Shout out to Loxley for getting this kid. Strong side defensive end. His cumulative rating is 86.06, which is pretty much a high 4-star. Pretty good kid. A high 3-star. Pretty good kid. All right. And what do I miss here? Okay. Now Sam Okweyinonu. Sam Okweyinonu. Now I should be able to pronounce this dude's name way more because I'm freaking West African my goddamn self, and he's Nigerian. But Nigerian names get too hard, man, even for us West African brothers. But Sam Okweyinonu. I need to pronounce this guy's name. Sam Okweyinonu. Sam Oke. That's it. All right, Sam Oke. Bet. Now he's from Mississippi Range Community College from Lowell, Massachusetts. Now he's originally from Virginia, Minnesota, but it's community college in Lowell, Massachusetts. And this kid right here is another immediate impact type of guy. When he's a grown man, watch him. He's a grown man, 6'3", 270, all girth, all muscles, all like straight up monster. When you watch him, he's a straight up monster. There's no like, if this guy got more than 5% body fat, I would doubt it. This nigga probably don't have no fat in his body. This nigga is strong. This brother is strong. This brother is strong. He's the 99th ranked JUCO player, ninth in his position, 99th ranked player, JUCO player coming out. Anybody in the top 150 in JUCO, a pretty good player, because there's a lot of players that go to college and then transfer to JUCO for like a season or two. So there's plenty of 5 stars who are playing JUCO. So just because a guy is ranked 99th in JUCO don't mean he's not good. He's a damn good player, all right? And he's ranked ninth in his position in JUCO, which is strong side defensive end. So he's the ninth strong side defensive end in all of JUCO ball. That's a damn good player. Anybody top 15 in JUCO in their position is pretty good. Now, he's first in the state, which is low, of course. Again, there's probably not many JUCO guys in the state of Massachusetts anyways, but this guy was the best in that state in terms of JUCOs. That's not easy. Anything you're number one at in JUCO, in any state, you're pretty good. All right? Now, again, it's a strong side defensive end, which is a major position of need for us. And we got like maybe 2 or 3 of these guys, because this guy and Booker are both listed as strong side defensive ends. But I really believe if anybody's going to play strong side defensive, it's this guy, because he doesn't bend as much. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what? Maybe this guy, since he doesn't bend as much, maybe he can play D tackle and make Booker move to defensive end, strong side defensive end, because I really believe Booker gonna be a star either way, inside, outside. Because I feel like Booker, if we put Booker in the middle, he can eat a little bit more because he's a little bit quicker. But this guy is just all girt. You put his hands on you, ain't getting off of him. Period. All right. Sam Okweye-Nonu. Sam Okweye-Nonu. I finally got it. Sam Okweye-Nonu. That's exactly what it is. All right, now Marcus Finger from Fort Myers. Again, the last 2 classes we went and got kids from Fort Myers. Last year we went and got Fanasia Gauthier from pretty much the same school, and Jessian Jones, pretty much the same area. You know what I'm saying? So we went and got Marcus Fingers. He was an ex UCF commit, so he was a steal. This kid is 6'5", 296 pounds. 296 pounds, and I think he can put on a good 20 pounds of muscles, and his game will be probably be enhanced. If anything, he will not be hampered. He will not be hurt by it. But this kid is strong. All right, 6'5", 296, and again, I love this kid. He's one of my kids I have as immediate impact kids that can play immediately. This kid just does not let you touch his quarterback. I've said it earlier, I'll say it again. When you watch Marcus Fingers play, he'd rather lose a finger, lose a limb, than let you get to his quarterback. And those are the kids that Iowa and Michigan State and the Wisconsin of the world have had so much success in the Big Ten with. Because in the Big Ten, there's a lot of good defensive linemen. There's guys, it's one of the best defensive line producing league for NFL in the country. Big Ten. Big Ten defensive linemen are monsters. They can ball. Because for you to play Big Ten, you gotta be able to stop the run and get after people, and that's what NFL players like, and that's what NFL scout and GMs look for. It's guys who can first stop the run and then get after quarterbacks off the edge or in the inside. So, but what I'm trying to tell you is, if you're gonna play in the Big Ten, you gotta have offensive linemen that are just nasty, that are mean. They may not be 4 or 5 stars like this kid. This kid is not even ranked in the country. He's not a ranked recruit, but he's 166th in his position. Again, that may not be high at all, but offensive lineman it's hard to rank those kids. So anybody within the 200 in this position is a damn good offensive lineman, because it's hard to rank those guys. And again, this kid's from Florida. He's ranked 265th in the state. I told you, anybody under 300 in Florida is a damn fucking good player. This kid is ranked 265th in Florida. Bring him in. I like him. All right. Offensive tackle, 6'5", 296. This kid is a monster. He has a cumulative rate of .8206, which is not that good at all. But screw this rankings, man. In fact, I'm gonna stop just naming the cumulative 247 rankings, because they're not favorable to us. But I'm gonna tell you, man. I watched film. I see here. I studied these guys. I watched what they're really good at, and this guy's skill set can make him play immediately. Immediately. Marcus Fingers, love him. Malik Jackson, 6'4", 225 pound tight end from Fort Meade Senior High School in Fort Meade, Maryland. What I like about this kid, all right, 6'5", 225. when we got Vernon Davis from DC back then, Vernon was about the same size, 6'5", 225. Put him in the weight room. Came out, this nigga was whooping people. But first of all, Vernon came in, he was a man. I gotta say that right now. When Vernon Davis came in College Park, he was a grown ass man and then some. But he still needed to get bigger. All right, and that's when he became legendary in our weight room because he was whipping guys. That was a time when Maryland football was one of the best time in my life in terms of like weight room monsters. You had him, you had Shaw Merriman, you had D's Galt, you had a lot of guys in that era of Maryland football that literally weight room warriors was a thing where Maryland really took pride in going to the weight room and eating weight. You just eat weight, and that era needs to come back. I think Lost will bring it back when guys take pride in kicking people's ass in the weight room just as much as kicking their ass on the football field. Because that's how you build monsters. That's how you build monsters. That's how you build a winning culture. Is through the weight room and then you translate to the football field. Now, again, this kid is 6'4", 225 pounds. Now, earlier in my previous summary, I said he was 6'1", built like Chigozie, my current tight end. No, he's not. This kid is 6'4", 225. He's not ranked nationally, but like I said, I don't care about that. He's 86th in the state. Anybody within 100 in Maryland is a damn good player. All right. No, he's 31st in the state, the 86th player in the position. Anybody in top 100 in tight end is a pretty good player. This kid is ranked 31st in the state of Maryland. That's a damn good player. And the state of Maryland is very, very good this year. Not as good as next year. It's still a damn good, state for talent this year. D1 talent. There's a lot of kids going D1 coming out of Maryland this year. This kid is the 31st ranked player in the state. And he's a tight end. He's a position of need. Now we have about 3 tight ends this class, so it's really a big hail when it comes to like a position like tight end. But we need it. We need it because I feel like the current tight end we have plus the guys we have now is a perfect mixture. We have speed with our current tight ends, but now we bring blockers and guys who can like a guy like Jackson. He can block and go and get out wild and line up as a receiver and go after cornerbacks. So I really like this kid. Tyler DeVera is another kid that I really like. Virgin Catholic is another tight end. All right, 6'4", 225 pounds. This kid is a blocker. He's a line of scrimmage. I will dominate you, whip your butt in line of scrimmage type of tight end. And that's time we haven't had in a long time. A guy who literally you can match up with the D end and he can hold his own. Maryland tight ends against D end, it hasn't been looking pretty, man. You put a tight end, Maryland tight end on a Big Ten defensive end, we'll be getting whipped. That's why our quarterbacks haven't been healthy because the tight ends haven't been no good blocking. They've been useless blocking for us. Our tight ends have been nothing. All right, so maybe we can get a tight end like him. This kid can really block. He get his hand. He takes pride in blocking. That's really what it takes. If you want to be a good blocker, you have to take pride in telling the guy I'm gonna get to you first, and when I get my hands on you, you ain't gonna get around me. Period. You just gotta have that kind of mentality for you to be a good blocker, especially as a tight end. And this kid has it. He has that dog in him. And unlike Maryland talents right now, who just eat up space like statues who just stand there and don't even move their feet. This kid doesn't just want to stand there. He want to pound you. He want to crush the pocket. He want to collapse the pocket so he can, the ball carrier can have all type of holes to pick from. And that's what I love about this kid. All right. Now his hands are A1. His hands are great, but I still think he can get a little bigger. 6'4", 227, and he can put on a good 20 pounds in that meat. This kid can end up being 6'4", 250 coming out of Maryland and be an NFL tight end. That's how good I think he's going to be. He's a very, very good kid. When you watch him, he has all the techniques for a good tight end that you see in NFL tight ends. In terms of getting off the line, his release, going after the ball, turning and looking for the ball. Like this kid has it all. He has it all. He has it all. And when you watch him, when he releases on his route, he doesn't turn and look for the ball until the very last minute. That's very key as a tight end because sometimes when you're playing against guys who are smaller than you, covering you out there when you're going for a route. So if he's turning around looking for the ball too quick, those guys are going to turn around and go make a play on the ball. So as a tight end, you got to know how to keep running. And then the very last minute, you turn around and catch the ball. You don't give the defender no chance to make a play on it. Tyler is very good at that. So 6'4", 227, I think he can put on a good 20 pounds, be about 250, and be damn good for us. But he's the 75th ranked player in this position at tight end. And anybody under 100 is pretty good. So we have the 75th and the 81st player in this class. Not bad at all. This kid is 42nd instead of New Jersey. The 42nd ranked player instead of New Jersey. Again, Jersey is kind of falling apart a little bit lately because the state is not just not as good anymore like it used to be. So, but anybody in the top 50 in Georgia and in New Jersey still is a damn good player. And this kid is a damn good player. Quite frankly, I think he's a sleeper. He should be ranked way higher in tight end. When I watch him, there's not 74 ranked tight ends better than this kid. He's ranked 75th. There's not 74 tight ends better than this kid. It's just not. Same thing with Malik Jackson. There's not 80 tight ends better than him. Period. Another kid I want to talk about is Cortez Andrews from Amos P. Gosby High School in Tallahassee. We literally went and got this kid right next door to Florida State. If you stand in this kid's high school, you can see Florida State, where Florida State play at. Literally, you can see this from this kid's field. You can see Florida State Stadium. I went and got this kid from Florida State. Florida State cannot be liking us right now because I feel like we're about to get another major kid from them soon. Stay tuned. I got an announcement to make on that at the end of this video. But Cortez Andrews is a 5'11" and a half, about 6-footer, 275 pounds, 217 pound hybrid. He's a hybrid. To me, I think he's gonna play that Antoine Brooks role for us. That he can play linebacker when you're going up against tight ends who like to go out and release, and he can play safety when you go against a team who likes to run a lot. So pretty much that's what this kid does. And early on in his high school career, let's say like as early as last year, this kid was a high 4-star, almost 5-star kid that every school in the country wanted. But then he switched position just to better fit his team. His team needed him to play linebacker this year. That's what sometimes many kids don't do. Most of these kids don't want to take that chance and lose a bunch of scholarship and lose interest. But this kid did what it takes to win. That's the kind of kids we want at Maryland. That's the kind of kids we haven't had at Maryland. Kids worry about stat too much, worry about being liked too much, worry about freaking offers too much. This kid did what was needed to win immediately for his high school team the senior year. That was for him to move to linebacker. And he went and dominated to a point where Maryland said, we still want you at linebacker, even though all those other schools backed off. Their loss is our gain, because I think this kid is going to be an NFL player. He's a star. He's a freaking star. 6 foot, 217, can put on a good 15 pounds of muscle, be 230, and be not affected at all. He's a hybrid safety, inside linebacker prospect, but more than likely, if he's going to be a linebacker, he's going to be an outside linebacker because he's too fast, and I don't think he can hold up being an inside linebacker in the Big Ten. But he's the 498th ranked player in the country. Of all the players in the country, he's ranked 498th in the country, 29th in his position, and 62nd in the state of Florida. Again, anybody in the 300 in Florida is a damn good player. This kid is ranked 62nd. That's like basically you ranking top 5 in the state of Maryland right now. You rank 62nd in Georgia, you top 5 in Maryland. That's how good. That's how pretty much I compare kids like that. So this kid is like that. I already mentioned Trayon Collins, 6'2", 190 corner. He's the 953rd ranked player in the country, 76th in his position, and 98th in the state of Georgia. He's a safety. Again, 98 in Georgia. Anybody with anything 250 in Georgia is a damn good player. All right. So we got him, and of course we got Deshaun Holt. I already told you Deshaun Holt is another kid from Westlake. A PG County kid, Westlake, Maryland, 6'5", 220 pounds, 8'4". No, he's not a PG County. It's a Charles County kid. Yeah, Westlake is Charles County. 6'5", 220. Deshaun Holt, 6'5", 220. He's not ranked. He's not a ranked player in the country at all. He's not ranked, but he's 73rd in his position and 22nd in the state of Maryland. He's going to be a weak side defensive end for us. Now, this kid is 6'5", 220. He's going to put on a good 30 pounds, 40 pounds, and be 260, 270, and be not affected at all. This kid is going to end up being one of the best downlift linemen we recruited in this class. This kid is good. He's long. When you put his hands up, it's like 7'2". Good luck throwing the ball over this kid. But he does need seasoning. He does need weight room because he's super, super, super raw. He is super raw. All right? Am I missing anybody? I got Isaiah, I got Levante Gator, I got Sam, I got Marcus Finger, I got Cam, I got Dino, Tyler, Malik, and of course the biggest, Paris Hit. Paris Hit is a junior college JUCO transfer, 6'4", 325 pound Mahimit. I'm telling you, this kid is huge. This kid is fucking huge. 6'4", almost 330. This kid is huge, and he's gonna start immediately. This kid is gonna start immediately. I guarantee you, he's one of the kids I have starting for us immediately. When you watch his film, he plays like a guy who's playing Big Ten football already. Like his movement, he's literally a major D1. This kid is gonna be a star for us immediately. And he's ranked 150th player in JUCO, the 80th ranked player in his position, which is offensive guard, and the 3rd in the state. in JUCO in New York. He's from New York, Brooklyn, New York. Now, again, this kid is going to play for us immediately. With the holes we have, we lost 3 starters on offensive line. This kid is going to start. 6'4", 325. That's as ready a, a big lineman as you get. He's ready. Just make him play. All right. Now, of course, our biggest signee of all these classes that I'm not, like, quite frankly, it took me a while to mention right now, is my man Lance Lejeune. People be like, it's Le Grande. I've heard all type of names. No, it's French. It's Lejeune. Lance Lejeune. Lejeune. Now, from Warren Easton High School in New Orleans, Louisiana. Now, this, I'm so excited about this kid. This kid is our biggest kid probably since Stephon Diggs. He's that big. He might even be bigger in terms of the impact he's going to make for us. Because quarterback is a huge position of need. Now, he's 6'2", 205. This kid put on like 15 pounds in like since the season started. When I first heard about this kid, it was like 2 seasons ago. All right? When he committed to, no, yeah, it was about a year ago when he committed to Kansas. And he was only 6'2", about 180 pounds. This kid has put on 225 pounds since. That's a kid that's preparing himself to be a monster, people. Those are the things people, like most other recruiting sites don't notice, but I peep how much guys get better in a short time. This kid has gotten a lot better over that time, and his film shows it. His junior film to his non-film is night and day better. His understanding of the game, the way he sees the field, is a whole lot better when you watch his film. But 6'2", 205, he's a 4-star recruit, a high 4-star recruit. He's 279th ranked player. Quite frankly, he's the #1 available quarterback left in the late signing period, and we fucking went and got him. Big time, Loxley, big time. Now, 14th rank in the state of New Orleans. Again, New Orleans is a hotbed. Anybody there, you rank in that one city alone. Anybody in the top 50 in New Orleans is a damn good player. All right? And this kid is 14th rank in his state. All right? 9th in his position of all the quarterbacks in the country. And a deep class of quarterbacks this year. Quite frankly, the last 2 cycles of quarterbacks has been pretty good. This kid is ranked 9th. And when I watch his film, there's not a quarterback better than Lance. There's just not. There's not. So we got to steal, guys. We have a good player that's actually could have been even better for us because I think he's not ranked rightfully right. I think he's better than his rankings. So, again, he's a dual threat quarterback, and this kid is going to be a household name. It might even be as early as the fall ball. That's how good he is. All right? Now, let me do a quick breakdown right quick of position breakdowns. We had 1 quarterback signed. We had no running backs, no fullbacks, 4 wide receivers, 3 offensive linemen, 3 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, 3 DBs, and 1 kicker. Well, I think he's going to play punter because ain't nobody's going to take paternal job from last year. That kid, you had a true freshman that missed only 1 kick this whole season. You ain't going to replace him for another kid. So I think this kid right here is probably recruited just to play punter because our punting last year kind of sucked. But yeah, those are the position breakdowns we had. Let me give you guys the state breakdown. And there were 6 players from Maryland. There were 2 players from Florida, 2 players from Georgia. There was 1 player from DC, 1 player from Louisiana, 1 player from Massachusetts, which is the JUCO kid Sam, and 1 player from Jersey, 1 player from New York, which is the JUCO kid Hit, and 1 player from Ohio, and 1 player from Pennsylvania. Now, those are the state breakdowns. There's no player from Virginia because Eugene Asante ended up going to UNC. I really thought this kid was going to be either be us or Virginia Tech, or maybe even Huskers because his brother went there. But I don't know what UNC did, but that's recruiting for you. They went there and stole that kid from us. And shout out to him. I still like the kid. But yeah, the strongest. Now, these are my categories now. The guys that I have who I think are the strongest. The strongest player in this entire class is going to be Sam Okwuegbunam. Sam Okwuegbunam is going to be the best, the most physically ready guy in this class. Booker is a close second. I might even put a tie between him and Booker and Tank Booker, but my pick is going to be Sam. Sam is just all muscle. He's literally all muscles, and he's going to play immediately. And fastest guy, again, it's either Nick Cross, wink wink, or Dina Tomlin. Well, I'm going to say Dina Tomlin for now, but we all know it's going to be Nick Cross when he comes to time. Nick Cross got the 2nd fastest time in the country right now. In the 100. So it goes to tell you, the kid is a track star. and he's one of the best safeties in the country. We get Nick Young, he's gonna be the fastest player and our top recruit. Bang, bang, bang. Can't have it both. I want it both ways. How about that? But yeah, Nick Ross. But right now, my pick for the fastest prospect we have is Dino Tomlin. Nick, of course. I hope Nick Ross can steal that. But um, most likely to redshirt. Yes, this is another thing I have. Most likely to redshirt for us in this entire class. I have Holt, who's my top candidate, and Mason Lunsford is my second candidate, and Jerry Levante Gator, the kid from Blue, is my third candidate, and Blount, Cameron Blount, is my fourth candidate because I feel like because he played both ways, that kid needs to learn how to play D1 linebacker. He really needs to learn. He has no experience playing linebacker at a high level. Period. So I feel like he's gonna take a season for him to really get the position. But yeah, Blount is my fourth candidate, and then Dino Tomlin is my fifth candidate. Now those are the only guys I have as possible redshirt. I feel like all the other guys, I feel like they're gonna play at some point in the season. That's what I feel. These guys, I don't think they're gonna play immediately because I think Dino Tomlin, as fast as he is, he's too weak. One or less than 170. Now, if you put on 20 pounds by the time from now to season start, which can happen because his dad's an NFL coach, I can see him playing because he's that fast he is and he got great hands. All right. However, I just think it's better for we redshirt him just so he can learn because the high school play is not really the top competition either. So he needs to learn the position and get stronger too. All right. So just so we don't hurt his sometimes when you play a guy too early, you kind of hurt the development. So I hope that's not the case with him. But yeah. As for my immediate impact guys who I got that's gonna be immediate, like guys who's gonna play immediately. Now, first of all, besides just those guys I just named, I said everybody has a chance to play, right? But these are the guys who I feel gonna be immediate stars, immediate like the guys who are gonna come in and make an impact immediately, and not just play just to play, but play actually because they earn the snaps. And Lance, of course, Lance Lejeune. I think this kid, there's no way we wouldn't got this kid if we think Kasim Hill health is not in question. I really believe Kasim, this stat might just let Kasim rest this whole year. I really just believe it. Kasim should never came in last year, but he did. We needed him. He had to. There's no way we'd be Texas without him last year to begin the season. So why sometimes you look back at wins and you realize I'm not sure that win was worth it. That's one of those wins. I'm not sure it was worth losing Kasim, starting him that year because he wasn't ready. I wish Kasim didn't start last year at all. Or Piggy in the perfect world. None of those kids were ready. But now we got a kid that if they're not ready, this kid is going to be ready. This kid is ready to play D1 football right now and Big Ten football. And with Max Loxley offense, it's going to be catered around his needs, his strengths, and it's going to prosper. So Lance Lejeune is my first prospect I have. Sam Okoye-Nonu is another guy. Now, I've gotten his name back to back, like 4 straight times. So I'm killing it right now. Sam Okoye-Nunu is another guy who I think is going to make another immediate impact. Booker. These are all guys physically, they're ready. And when you watch their film, they know what they're doing. They know their position. They have a great understanding of how to play their positions. Booker and Paris Hill, again, offensive tackle. When you're 6'4", 325 pounds, a JUCO, you're ready to play D1 football. And then Isaiah Hazel. Again, 6'1", 190. The kid is ready. Played in a public school, but I won't call Wise a public school. To me, that school is better than 90% of private schools in this country. Period. All right? And sleepers. These are the guys who that might not be well ranked in this class. They may not have the best ratings in this class, but give them 3 years. They're going to be the stars. You're going to hear the names. Deontay Banks. Not even 3 years. I said Deontay Banks right now. I love this kid. Deontay Banks is the best, to me, is the best player in this entire class, and he's going to prove it. I'll be shocked if he doesn't, man, if this kid don't become an NFL first-round pick. This kid is like that. Levante Gator is another kid I think is a sleeper. I like Gator. When you watch him in Blue, he's 5'11", like 160, but he's just a feisty kid. He just competes, man. The kid has no fear. And as light as he is, he's a lightweight because he still needs to put on about 30 pounds of muscles for him to really play D1. But he has no fear to get down there and tackle, get down there and go after the ball. The guy plays the ball. He tackles. I love this kid, man. He's a humble beast. That's what Levante Gator is. Quiet as fuck when you meet him. When you put on that film, the kid become another monster, man. You just want to take people's heads off. So I like the kid. Booker Jr., Tank Booker. Another sleeper for me. I love this kid. I really believe this kid is a kid that Ohio State should have offered. He is that good. I think Ohio State should have offered this kid. He is that good. I don't know why they didn't, but I'm glad they didn't. Because he's going to put it in their face for a few years. Marcus Fingers, the offensive tackle from Florida. He's another sleeper. He's my fourth sleeper. I love Marcus Fingers, man. I told you guys, those are the kind of linemen Ohio State, Michigan State, Wisconsin, and Iowa is dominating Big Ten football with. Guys who just, no matter what, you ain't touching my quarterback. They just have that mentality, man. They'd rather get a penalty than you get to the quarterback. In a way, sometimes that's what's needed. And we had linemen like that, maybe our quarterbacks wouldn't have gotten hurt as much as they have over the years. Our linemen get beat so easy. It's this joke sometimes how we get beat, how easily defensive linemen can get in our Big Ten defensive linemen can get in our backfield. It's sometimes it's a joke. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the biggest problem with that. When guys get beat, you gotta realize just because I'm beat doesn't mean my quarterbacks or the ball carrier gotta get punished. You can hold a pass. Sometimes the refs are not even gonna call it. If you do it slick. Big Ten linemen do it all the time. They'll hold us all the time. They're just slick with it. But when we do it, they always get caught because we'll make it so obvious. Like, God damn, Maryland, can you be a little bit slick? But yeah, I like Marcus Fingers a lot. I think he's a sleeper. Um, yeah, I like Marcus Fingers a lot. But pretty much that's my summary of this class. And I still think the future stars, of course, the guys who I think is going to be future stars and get drafted in the NFL out of this class. Lance Lejeune, Isaiah Hazel, Tank, Deontay Banks, Tank Booker, Dino Tomlin, Tyler DeVere, Cortez Andrews, and Cameron Blount. I think all those kids are going to get drafted from this class. Marcus Fingers. Marcus Fingers. I think all those kids are going to get drafted from this class. Parrish Hit too. I think all those kids are going to get drafted. Like, I'm talking about drafted prospect. Now, just because I didn't say you're going to get drafted from this guy doesn't mean I think you're good. I think there's plenty of guys who right now, I don't see them getting drafted, but you guys go in the weight room, depending on how you work, you can easily surpass all these guys I just named. This is just me talking, man. This means nothing. So you guys get in there and work, and let's get this money, man. Because believe me, Maryland's a sleeping giant. I'm glad you guys chose Maryland. Now let's go wake some motherfuckers up. Because I'm tired of fucking losing in the Big Ten to teams like Iowa. Iowa don't fucking got talent in us. But they always win. Why? Because they have a culture. It's time for us to build that culture in Maryland. Wisconsin have more talent than us. They always fucking win. Why? Because they have a fucking culture. It's time for us to build that fucking culture here. Northwestern have no got fucking more talent than us. Why? Because they always fucking win. Why? Because they got fucking culture. It's time for us to build a fucking culture. And with the talent we have here, we're not just going to be the Iowas. We're going to be the fucking Ohio State because we're going to fucking dominate, man. Let's fucking go. But anyways. But yeah, let me give you guys an update on Nick Cross. Nick Cross been liking a lot of tweets from Maryland fans about him staying home lately. I saw at least 3 tweets that he's liked of Maryland fans pretty much saying that it's Florida State, Maryland's a better school academically than Florida State. Just Maryland fans making little including shots at him for him. So, and if that's the case, I even have somebody who close to his family tell me that he's trying to have a Stephon Diggs-like commitment, where he goes into a public place, makes his announcement, everybody cheers, put on the Maryland hat, everybody go wow. And if that's the case, again, I got us as a 60% chance of getting the kid at this point. A week ago, I put us at 20%. But after all those Maryland football players, NFL players started tweeting at the kid, I said I'm being told that really made an impact. Like, that really made an impact because that was his dad's message. It was like, Maryland ain't gonna get you to the NFL. That was not the kid talking. That was not people talking. That was his dad message. And I'm sure that message came from Penn State. That was Penn State telling his dad, putting words in his ear that Maryland ain't gonna get your son ready for the NFL. But once the Terps current Maryland players in the NFL started tweeting at him, I heard that really hit home with the kid. Because he really made the kid start thinking, is my parent really have my best interest in mind? Or are they just trying to set me to James Franklin because they called James Franklin? All right? Now, if we don't get him, he ain't going to Florida State. First of all, they lost this kid. It's either us and Penn State. I'm going to say it right now. It's either us and Penn State, Nicholas going to pick. And if I have to decide right now, I'm going to still say Penn State because his parents are in his ears. But I heard Maryland is slowly but steadily growing. And the kid is becoming more fond of us over Florida State. So, and if you have to decide between him and between us and Penn State in public, I'm going to say he's going to pick us. There's no way he's going to pick Penn State in a public setting over Maryland. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. No kid is that stupid. All right? So, long story short, I expect Nick Young to be in the fold. And for this class to even be what it is, I see all these kids making an impact for us. whether immediately or down the road. And this is a great class to what we already have on the roster. This is just a shot in the arm for us. It's like icing on the cake, man. We already got good players, and we went and got better, a little bit more better players, a little bit even more good players. Let me just say that because there's nobody here that I see that's better than some of the players we have. But there's some of these guys that are better than a lot of the players we already got. So some of these guys are gonna start. All right. So long story short, go Terps, go University of Maryland, and guys, now with the transfer portal still available, Maryland is very active right now trying to get players of needs. So we still need linebackers. We still can take a couple of offensive linemen or defensive linemen. We can still take a quarterback if we have to be, but it's not really a position of need unless somebody is just a major come open. You know what I'm saying? But Maryland really is not out here recruiting for a quarterback anymore. We're just trying to get linemen, linebackers in house. All right, but let me just, I know this video is a lot more longer than I wanted it to be, but again, when you're recapping almost 20 recruit, even if I do 5 minutes a person, it's going to be an hour. So there goes that. But yeah, go Terps. I hope this gives you guys a little more information on every one of these kids and their potential and where I see them being down the road. Because I really think all these kids got Big Ten potential. That's not something I've said a lot in Maryland recruiting lately. A lot of sometimes we just get bodies just to get bodies. This is not one of those classes. There's nobody here that I just feel like he's just a body. Everybody here is a player. They brought him in because they believe he can play. So go Terps, and let's hopefully we get Nick Young and Nick Cross in the fall, and we can go from there. Because we can get that boy Nick Cross, we're gonna have the best defense in the Big Ten. I guarantee you. With the staff we have, with the NFL personnel staff we have, we're going to be the best defense in the Big Ten, and I can't wait because our offense is going to be fireworks. I'm telling you, man, with our running backs and the skilled players we have, and now we give us Lejeune, good luck stopping us with Loxley offense, all right? Now, with that being said, go Terps. I think I've talked a little bit too much than I wanted, but go Terps, go Maryland, and you guys stay tuned, man. Make sure you're keeping tuned and continue to tweet at Nick Cross, man. You guys continue to tweet at him. It's making a play. It's making an impact. It's really making an impact. I'm hearing it's really hitting home with the kid. Continue to tweet at Nick Cross and go Terps.